Hello and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take you on a dumpster dive of this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I'm your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Happy 100!
It's a centennial!
100 episodes of pure, hot, steaming trash.
It's a dumpster fire!
A dumpster fire! I don't know. I didn't have anywhere to go with that. Shit.
I know. I'm sorry. I escalated ultimately,
It's okay. I have something in my head that it's like stuck there. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. It's from 101 Dalmatians. It's a Dalmatian sensation. A Dalmatian sensation. It's a dumpster fire. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. Has anyone else watched that movie in the last 2 weeks, or did you all just see it back in the 90s when you were kids like everyone else? All good.
Yeah, I think I let it traumatize me as a child as it was intended.
Tell you what, that was my favorite movie. I used to watch it all the time, and I rewatched it when we had COVID recently, and it slaps. It's great.
It's great. I mean, what a wicked concept.
No kidding. Like this woman who is friends, this is just Anita's college friend, my friend from college, Cruella. Anita, darling, I'm doing terrible. I want to make a coat from puppies. It's like, oh my
we all
God.
have that one friend where you're like,
we all have that one friend, friend who just will offer you, I'll offer you whatever you want for them. Lord knows you need it with your poor husband.
Yes.
That's her vibe.
That's her vibe. You're like, we were friends when we were younger. You don't understand what a good friend she was to me then.
Yeah.
She's got her, eccentricities now. But then, she loaned me a pin on the first day of class.
Can't let her go.
That's a bond you can't break.
We also all have that friend who, has like a unspayed or neutered dog, and then they meet a guy with like the same unspayed or neutered dog, and then they have puppies, and then they go, we're keeping them all, and then they have like 14 dogs, as if that's normal. We all have that friend too.
Yes, 100%. But normally they live like in a dirt patch,
sure,
in a rural area, and then and those dogs run the neighborhood.
No, man, Roger and Anita, they lived in a London flat.
Can you imagine?
2 bedrooms tops.
Yeah.
Pungle boy. Sorry, I really did watch this very recently.
There's like 4 scenes that flash viscerally from that movie for me, but I got no quotes. And the whole time we were talking, I was also thinking, I was like, at what point do the dogs kiss over a noodle of spaghetti? But then I was like,
the Tramp.
Wrong dog movie, bitch. Wrong dog movie,
bitch. There was
dogs, bitch it. Anyway, yeah.
I need to know from the listeners, did anyone else have the 101 Dalmatians game for PC? I'm talking Windows 98 tops. Okay. And it was a game on the computer, and it was there was a musical elements to it, and you played your way through, you had to make sure there was enough soot on all the puppies to get past Cruella, and because she sees 100 puppies walk by, but she goes, those are labs, because they're covered in soot. I don't want lab coats. I'm looking for Dalmatian. Did anyone else play this game? There's a whole song element that goes along with the Twilight bark that I can't tell you, a little bit of advanced algebra that I had to learn over and over again in college, but I know every word to this one song from this 101 Dalmatians computer game for Windows 98.
Oh my God.
If anyone else played this game,
no.
Spread the word through every yard, from a Great Big Dane to a Saint Bernard. It's a bulldog, sheepdog, Great Maltese, German Shepherd, and a Pekingese. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please reach out. This is important.
This feels like a fever dream that you had while you were a sickly child with yellow fever. Well, Cassandra laid in bed and had people damp her forehead from the fever. She just invented a song to escape the pain.
A boxer, bowser, beagle, schnauzer, Russian wolf, fall stray. A pug by golly, boxer, collie, wolf. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, I want to get into why we're trash, but I hope this isn't your story on why you're trash, but I had my bachelorette party last weekend, which is why we didn't release an episode. And I just want to talk about what a trash queen you are
Oh
for
no.
a moment.
Okay.
So we made Jello shots and they were precariously placed in the fridge. There wasn't a lot of room in the fridge because we had a Costco run. There was 10 girls in the one house. There was a lot of food in that fridge. So we had to lay the Jello shots on a baking sheet kind of on top of a layer of like LaCroix and like hard seltzers and stuff. And occasionally the structural integrity of, what's holding the baking sheet up would be compromised. And
the architecture was not solid.
Right. That was what you were telling everyone. That's what you were going up to people while they were in the middle of conversations and saying, hey, by the way, the architecture in the fridge. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You're like, I want you to know to be careful. Don't make the mistakes I made. So if, whatever, sometimes a Jello shot would fall out, but they were in like tiny solo cups. So when they fall on the ground, you pick it up and you put it back. Nothing happened to the Jello shot. But every time that they would fall to the ground, Erica, I imagine because you thought you were being helpful, although I think you were just being sneaky. You're like, I'll take it. And we're like, oh, it's cool. It didn't touch your ground. No, I'll take it. So in all hours of the day, so I think at like 8 a.m. at one point, but anytime that a Jello shot would fall on the floor, Erica bravely stepped up. I'll take it. I don't want it to go to waste. I'll take it. It's like, it's not going to go to waste. We're going to put it back in the fridge. No, I'll take it. And I was like, damn, Erica's fucking tight. I mean, she there could have been more Jello shots for everybody, but all the ones that hit the ground, man, they went from ground to your mouth quick.
I've taken a food safety course. I wasn't about to put a Jello shot that had hit the floor back in the fridge.
But did you take the food safety course long enough to know that it shouldn't go in your mouth either?
No, I probably dipped out. I was only probably dipped out.
But it's boring.
Yeah, I kind of skimmed food safety.
This is all common sense. I'm done.
Yeah, I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm saving everybody's life here.
I'll fall on this sword. You established quickly that you were ready to die for any person who was there.
Yeah, truly. I was like, I got you all. Like,
babe, we could just put it back or just throw it in the trash. Nope. I'll take it.
Someone has to do this Jello shot, and it has to be me.
Didn't you just say you wanted coffee? I'll take this first. I'll take this orange Jello shot first.
I did.
It was great. Why are you trash though?
Okay, so I went to a music festival in Montana where I know approximately 2 souls.
Sure.
And I was in...
How many people though?
Exactly. 18 people, 2 souls.
Got it.
And so I was in the front at the show on Friday night, and I was watching the band, and the band finished, and it was an incredible show. Band had been off for about 3 years, so just getting back together on the road again. And the band finishes and they link up arms and they're going to take a bow. And so they go to take a bow, and I'm about 2 people back from the stage. So there's 2 people in front of the stage between me. That's the time where everyone gets their camera out to take a photo, because that's a nice time to take a photo. Well, the woman in front of me decides that this is also a time for her to stick her bag, roughly the size of like 4 laptops, like a giant bag, up in the air.
4 laptops? What? I've never heard that as a metric of size.
It's early in the morning, and I was trying to think of dimensions, and the only thing in front of me is a laptop, and I was like, well, that's about 4 of these stacked up and wide. I know, it's a terrible unit of measure.
Okay.
A big bag, like a beach bag,
okay,
basically.
Okay, great.
Her purse was the size of a beach bag.
Okay.
She decides to stick that up in the air and scream, woo, both hands up in the air with her bag. That blocks everyone behind's her view of the stage an ability to take a photo.
Okay.
So I politely say, excuse me, would you mind lowering your hands in your bag? And she does not do that.
Does she hear
So
you?
TBD, don't know,
Okay.
to be determined, who knows? So then, Cassandra, what I do is I then somehow in my mind thought this was the next solution, like you would with a child if they were to like touch a knife or something.
Mhm.
I just gently put my hand on her elbow and I just say, no, and I lower her hand for her. Her bag hand, I lower it for her and then take the photo that I want to take. I put my hand on another person's body.
Did people cheer for you though? It seems like you were a hero.
Oh, people liked it behind me. She and her group did not like it. And I was like, anyway, bye. The look she gave me, if she like it is it if she were Medusa, I would have turned to stone. Her male companions looked at my male companion, my friend, as if, bitch, we're gonna fight. And I didn't see that tension, but I did get the, hey, we're gonna go from, from my friend Mike that I was with. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna go. But Mike was like, I fear for my safety and your safety. But I didn't know that at the time.
Well, maybe like, I mean, how you're really gonna go and get in a fight over your dumb shit friend who puts her bag in the air for no fucking reason?
I mean, I asked politely. Now, again, I said I thought in my mind that I gently lowered her. I mean, it wasn't that, it was a slow, gentle lower. So that's how I interpreted it. But when I told it later, Mike was like, I think that's what you thought you might have done. But in your drunkenness, you might have done it. You might have had a heavier hand and it might have
Oops.
been a little faster than you thought. Time moves differently when you've been drinking, and sometimes we're not aware of our own strength or our own body when you've been drinking. And I was like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I lowered her hand for her.
I think you did
And
the right thing.
I was a hero for everyone, not me, but behind us. You know what I mean? Like I was again, like the Jello shots.
I was gonna say another example of you being willing to just to die for everyone around you.
For everyone around me. I was like this Atlas, like the world is on my shoulders for everyone around me.
Absolutely. Poor thing.
Again, lowered her hand, and then I was like, I would never touch another. You know what I mean? I would never put my hands on another person like that. But
Well,
for
never say
some
never.
reason, I felt okay about lowering her hand and her giant ass purse. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Anyway, don't put your bag up in the air. Hands up in the air to concert. Woo woo. Go do you. You know what I mean? But your bag cannot celebrate. Anyway, go on. That's why I'm trash. And Cassandra, why are you trash?
Well, so I got a spray tan before my bachelorette party.
And it looks great.
Thank you. It just felt like the thing to do. And so I've made lots of mistakes in my life when it comes to everything, but specifically spray tans, where like sometimes I'll forget to shave my legs, or sometimes I'll be like, something with my nails, whatever. So I was like, this one I'm going to go really prepared. So the night before I shower, I exfoliate, I shave my legs, I put on lotion, everything everything you're supposed to do. Then I go to my spray tan appointment the next day. And if you've never had a spray tan before, like with another person who actually physically sprays you, which always looks better than if you just stand there and get sprayed back and forth by a machine. Like spend the extra $10 and get the person to spray you. But if you've never done it, it is intimate. And like they kind of like, they're like, okay, you're gonna stand there and like let me know when you're ready, and then they walk out, and then you are to get completely naked. There are at this place specifically, there was some disposable options if I chose to wear a underwear of sorts, but like it's like the equivalent of putting like hair ties over your parts, because they want to spray the whole thing. So it's really, if anything, I would argue that you're the weird one if you choose to put on like the T-shaped string bikini just so that a spray tan person can't see like the fucking line of your vulva, you know? But I digress. Anyways, some complaints about the spray tan place. It was a great tan, but they had a full-length mirror right across from where you would stand. So I'm sitting there facing my naked body and inviting this woman back in, who I had met, 30 seconds before. And she starts spraying me, and so everything's good, whatever. Naturally I have to crack a joke because I fucking am awkward and I can't help myself. I'm like, it's weird, just be like, okay, come in, I'm naked. And she's like, yeah, I don't even see naked bodies anymore. Like, she essentially, in the nicest way possible, was like, you're a meat sack to me. But she starts spraying me, and she says, so this has some bronzer in it, but the bronzer's not what your tan is. It's just an instant bronzer, which I don't even know why they do this shit. I think it's that they do it so that people don't go, did you do anything?
Did you do anything?
Yeah. So the bronzer gets me, at least, to a point where I don't think I should leave the house because I look like I'm doing some distasteful vaudeville. That makes sense to everyone.
Al Jostin kind of vibes.
Yeah. I look like I'm in the West Side Story on the Puerto Rican side. Because all those actors were white.
Yes.
With bronzer. So I don't like to I like to go straight home. But on my legs, it was kind of looking a little blotchy and like cheetah print-ish. And she was like, did you shower today? And my immediate response, as someone whose head is 2 feet away from my vagina, is yes, right before I came here. I showered the night before. And she's like, oh, okay, that's why. And I was like, why what? And she was like, well, these spots and stuff it's just usually because there's like water gathering in the skin. So maybe next time don't shower so close to the appointment. And I was like, oh, I mean, I guess it was this morning. She's like what time? I was like, 6 a.m. And she's like, okay, yeah, just shower maybe the night before next time. And so I'm stuck here in a lie because I did shower the night before. But I lied because I didn't want her to think I was gross and because I didn't know the context of the question, but I still have these splotchies. So I want more information of like, why do I have this splotching though? I did shower the night before, but I lied. So luckily the tan worked out great, but I was like, I spent the next like 4 hours while it was developing just staring at my like spotted leg. Couldn't take a picture because again, that's blackmail. I was like, why did I fucking lie? So
I had a woman spray tan me. So I bought like a Groupon for a person to spray tan me. It was like a package, and that was all great. And so I ran out of those, and then she was like, I'll continue to spray you at this rate. And I was like, great, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And then so she was doing it, and she's like, hey, I'm actually not going to work at this place anymore, but I can spray you at, my house at this rate. And I was like, even cheaper. And I was like, okay, great. Same equipment, same, fluid. Sounds great. And again, I was fully naked while she did this because I wanted the tan, I wanted the look. I wanted the chiseled jaw and the abs and all this. And
gotta bend over a little bit, make sure she tans under your butt cheeks. Like
I wanted it.
You need the whole
yeah.
look. Pick up your titties.
Between the cheeks, you know what I mean? Who's in there? Nobody. I wanted to know it was done though.
I don't want a tan line in there.
I don't want a tan line
in there.
If I meet my maker, I want the Undertaker to see it was a completed job, Anyway. But this happened, so again, so she's Groupon cheap. She agrees to do it at a cheaper rate in the salon, probably gets fired because she's stealing from the salon.
Sure.
do it at her house with God knows what. And then she starts asking me if I've ever danced before. And I was like, oh, no, I was so clumsy. I took like 3 lessons of clogging when I was little. She's not talking about tap, ballet, jazz, freeform. She's starting to, this was when I was in my prime shape.
Sure.
But she's trying to recruit me into performative, like exotic dancing.
Oh.
And I was like, this is the way to do it. Let me tell you, this is the way to do it. Like,
find young girls who go for Groupons.
Yes.
Lie and say that you've lost your job at the salon, but then you'll start doing it in the house.
Yeah.
And then once you get I mean, this is textbook stuff for either becoming a stripper or you eventually getting murdered.
Yes. And then I was like, okay, well, thank you. I'll consider. Thank you. And then I was like, book my next appointment, and then never showed up again. Canceled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Never showed up again.
I mean, that was the best possible outcome, because honestly, like, no shame in the stripping game. So.
No. But I was like, I'm not prepared to, the maintenance alone, the athleticism, I have none of that.
Oh, sure.
I have none of that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Man, they make a lot of money though.
God, they make money.
I follow a lot of them.
I do too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's incredible.
Stripper Talk is awesome.
Yes. The athleticism, I bow down. I was just like, oh, thank you. But I couldn't, it's not a morality platform that I stand on. It's oh, honey, I could never there's nothing about me that could, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not clutch my pearls. It's my body doesn't do that. Like, I can't do that. Like, yeah. But Cassandra, what are we here to do today?
So it's our 100th podcast. And so we thought we would revisit our first podcast, because if you've been here since the beginning, first of all, thank you. That's amazing. But you might, jog your memory a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, because you don't need to go back and listen.
Nope.
But our sound quality was terrible. Like,
some might call it dog shit.
Yeah. So I feel like we figured it out relatively quickly how to make it not so shitty. But so we thought for our 100th episode that we would just redo the stories we did in our first one.
Yeah, let's revisit. Let's talk about them. Let's see what there is. See if trash has changed in 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So when did we release the first one? It was in 2020.
It was 7/28/2020.
7/28/2020. Holy shit.
2
that
years.
Was 2 years ago, like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or by the time this comes out, like 2 years ago, like 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We haven't missed that many weeks.
We really haven't.
Sometimes I feel like we missed a bunch, but we really haven't missed that many.
No, we've been pretty consistent. We have had some personal moments, but we've released some bonus episodes, and
sure,
we got some tricks up our sleeves, some things in the future we're planning.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's paint a picture. This is almost August 2020. So there's no vaccine.
Nope.
Everything is fucked, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. We were sent home, and like lockdown was like mid-March 2020.
Yeah. So we'd been in lockdown for a couple months, going kind of kooky crazy, doing a lot of podcasting back then because I had nothing else I had no one to talk to.
No.
So our first story came to us from TMZ. This is a Karen calls a Black woman a good little slave for wearing a mask at a bus stop. Whoa. Those were the days.
This was our first story. We did and it's a Florida woman story.
Yep.
The Karen's a Florida woman. Wow. We went Florida woman. We went mask. We went racial. First story out the gate.
Yeah. I'm not positive that we would have done this story these days.
I don't know if we would have. Yeah, I don't know if we would have done it.
We try to keep our Florida people stories with a little bit more levity.
Yeah.
Because things, we didn't know this back then, but things were going to keep getting worse. Yeah, so this woman was standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus, and she was wearing a mask, and this Florida woman who did not like masks decided to refer to her as a good little slave. Now, this woman's defense was, oh, I meant like you're a slave because you're wearing a mask, not because, you know, you're black, because it's cool because I'm Mexican. That was what she said.
Which
vaguely
is irrelevant. But yeah. Wild. I'd love to have a where are they now? Like on updates on some of these stories.
I know. I don't, but this woman's TMZ doing the respectful thing and not publishing this woman's name.
I mean, I feel like if I put like a $47 bounty at a 7-Eleven in Pasco County, Florida, and this photo, I could have her name in 2 days.
She might be behind the counter.
Exactly. She'd be like, that's 4-pack of Luckies. I bet I'd turn myself in. You know what I mean?
I hate to change the subject, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing on TMZ that Mega Millions that's going around, the one that's over $1 billion.
Yes.
It was won by a single person in
Wow.
South Carolina. Wait, where?
Let's see. I'm clicking on the link too. Wow.
Illinois.
Illinois. Wow. Now, does Illinois have a rule where you have to claim it anonymously?
I don't know. I hope for that person's sake. Yes.
All right. I love yeah. The people I was barbecuing at a friend's house, and they said Winston forgot to buy a lottery ticket, but the people we were with said we bought lottery tickets, and we even paid the guy an extra 50 because he said this 50 will guarantee that you'll win. And I said, oh, great. And he's like, listen, just because you're here tonight, if we win, everybody gets $1 million. And we were like, oh, thank you so much. But then I, of course, was like, will you pay the taxes on it? So is that a pre-tax million or a post-tax million? And, you know, my mind went to the non-fun side of it. But, and then I said, Winston, lottery tickets are a fungible item. Like whoever holds the ticket, if we murder everyone here, we hold the ticket. And so then we had to plan out everyone's murder over a nice barbecue of how we would get the ticket, you know. So it was a busy evening. It was a busy evening.
To promise people $1 million for every person who's at the barbecue. I don't know if that's a good idea, because, you know, if you take the lump sum, which is, you know,
700 million after taxes. Yeah.
Is that what it is? I thought it was less in the state of California. Either way.
Well, wherever. Yeah.
If you have $700 million, do you really want to just give $1 million out to every single person who asks for one?
There were only like 6 of us at the barbecue.
So I think that they could afford to give $1 million.
Yeah. It felt like an okay clipping. Yeah.
That's nice. I never played the lottery.
There was a restaurant, I can't remember which one it was, but the owner bought every employee a lottery ticket, and people are like, just give them a raise. You know
no shit.
It's like, just give them a raise. Like pay a fair wage. You know what I mean?
If you won the lottery, would you quit your job?
Not immediately, because I enjoy the type of work I do. I really do. And I need to be stimulated mentally. And I would need to line something up where I would have a job, some type of job, whether it be some type of lady who leisures type job where it's like I work 4 hours a week at a yoga store where I can get discounted leggings, and people are like, why do you need discounted leggings? And I'm like, because I need a discount still. Like I would need something where I would have to have like, oh man, but then I would spend the 4 days a week I'm not working being like, oh, I don't know if I can make plans. I have a 4-hour shift coming up on Wednesday. You know, I would need something.
Yeah, I
would need something. And then I would buy my way into things, I think. I'd be like, hey, Taika Waititi, I'd love to be the next Thor. Don't have enough funding for Marvel? I got you.
And he go, literally, that's impossible.
He's
we
like,
have plenty of funding from Disney. Thank you.
and I said, no, I don't think you've understood me. I would like to buy my way into Thor, and he would go, I can't be bought, Erica. And I was like, money's no object. And yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like Cruella de Vil.
Yes, I would instantly turn into Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
If we discover like aliens or like space dogs, I'd be like, I want a coat of them.
Space dogs.
Yes, I want a coat of space dogs instantly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's get into our second story. Great White plays coronavirus concert with no social distancing.
So again, this is in August 2020 or July 2020. So this band, who'd already in the past killed 100 people after setting off pyrotechnics inside of a small club, then has decided to do a concert in Dickinson, North Dakota with no social distancing or safety protocols. And it was part of a concert series called First on First, which their whole deal was that they weren't doing any pandemic safety. Now, it looks like the concert was outside. And back then, we didn't know that was like, okay.
Yeah. So the organizer of the series told the Dickinson Press, we do not have any restrictions. Believe it or not, or we do not have restrictions. Believe it or not, we don't have any. It's just one of those things where if people feel comfortable coming down and mixing and mingling, that's their personal choice. We're leaving it up to everybody that chooses to attend.
What's crazy is I've never heard of this band in my life other than this story.
No, exactly. I had heard of I had heard of them before, I think, with the issue with the pyrotechnics and the horrible tragedy, I believe at this time. Now it's hard to remember if I had because of this story or what the fluidity of memory is, but I did know about that, I think, at this time. But not a goddamn mask to be seen in the audience.
Look at us now. Your trashy story was about a concert that you went to in Montana 2 weeks ago. So how far we've come. How far we've come.
My favorite part about this article is down at the bottom. There's an editor's note, and it's like, editor's note, stay safe by picking up one of our custom face masks. That's not an editor's note. That's a ad. Like, that's not editor's note would be like editor's note. The editor is cousins with the guitarist from Great White that could have influenced the reporting of this. You know what I mean? Editor's note is just an ad.
Editor's note. You want to grab a Brandon mask? Because that was back in August 2020.
And also, this is our first story from consequence.net.
Formerly Consequence of Sound, Erica's favorite website.
Yes. First introduction. Wow. And then our third story. Oh, this was
cute one.
This was adorable. So an illustrator, Amber Scher, turned bad Yelp reviews of national parks into beautiful posters. And so she shared, the images of what they were.
Yeah, so these are just cute kind of like travel poster kind of looking things. And we'll read a couple of them. This is one, it's got like trees and like, mountains. This is for Yosemite National Park. And the poster says, trees block view and there are too many gray rocks.
Can't go to Yosemite.
Nope. Place sucks, apparently.
If you go into Sequoia National Park, just know there are bugs and they will bite you on your face. Wow.
For Isle Royale National Park, no cell service and terrible Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And the bears do not give good service at the cafe. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
I couldn't get a cappuccino to save my life. Oh, Joshua Tree National Park, one of my favorite national parks, only because it's one of the closest and it's beautiful, but it
Mhm.
says the only thing to do here is walk around the desert. Accurate.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's it. It's a desert.
For the Grand Canyon National Park, a hole, a very, very large hole.
I feel like that's what the first, European and colonizing explorers probably had to put in their diary. They're like the guy dictating his diary to his like scribe. He was like, it's a hole, a very, very large hole. But his scribe had to be like, the vastness of the hole was beyond our eye. He had to like flower it up in the diary and make it sound all
Don't fall
explored.
in.
But the guy probably just like a goddamn hole. That's all we found in the ground today. But the scribe writing the diary, and he's like, this is going to be in history. I'm going to make it sound good. Okay. I got it. Like the assistant probably had a flowery description of what the Grand Canyon was. But yeah. Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
No, no. I want to, I think, but also it's a pretty long drive, and I have heard a similar review of it that it's like, yeah, it's just like a big canyon.
I mean, the first time I went, it was like, oh wow. And then it's like, well, what do you do if you're, it's like, all right, can we go?
Your review is very similar to this one for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is nothing specific to do. See, that's the real thing about those national parks, is it like, you can't have dogs there.
Yeah.
Dogs are always like something nice to bring to parks. And you can't, like, some of them you can camp, but like it's usually full of like camping people, and it's like, oh God, move.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not always a lot to do.
My favorite is Zion National Park, which has scenery is distant and impersonal. The scenery didn't make a connection with me.
Didn't
I
really
wasn't
reel me in.
I wasn't greeted by the scenery upon entrance. Olympic National Park. No wow factor. What is this? A casting director from 2012 with me in the audition room?
There's nothing really specific about her.
Oh, okay, that's
Sorry,
triggering.
that's
I'm
just
gonna.
what I've heard. That's what I've heard about me.
Ooh,
By casting.
that's visceral.
Speaking of casting and famous people, let's go ahead and swing over to our next story from yahoo.com. This is July 15th, 2020. Nick Cannon had to issue an apology for some anti-Semitic comments.
Oh my God.
Said, I feel a shame. This was during a recent episode of his podcast.
Oh my God. We're not gonna say what he said, but he said, I reinforce the worst stereotypes of a proud and magnificent people, and I feel ashamed of the uninformed and naive place that these words came from. The video of this interview has since been removed. Wow.
Yeah. So I was at a tiki bar like a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and oh no, this was like a couple weeks ago. It was after I had COVID. Anyways, so me and a couple of my friends were there, and like we made comments about how everyone is so like young around us. And we're like, woof, we're old. So I was in the bathroom, and these two girls, young, beautiful 20s, making me feel intimidated the way that I really hope that I used to make people feel. They were having a conversation about how Nick Cannon has tons of kids.
Yes,
Like a lot of kids. He's got, I want to say, 8 kids, and which is that more or less than Eddie Murphy? I need to know this right now before I can, go on. Nick Cannon. Oh, Eddie Murphy
8.
still has Nick Cannon beat with 10 children. But yeah, so they were talking about that. And it's a women's bathroom. I think that conversations are open to anyone who's in there. So I said, yeah, isn't that crazy that he just like said, I'm the guy who needs to have this many kids? And they were like, totally. Like, he needed to spread everywhere. And I'm like, right? Like, bro, you were in Drumline. And everyone laughed. And then I came out of the bathroom with like a renewed sense of self. I went up to my friends and I was like, I made all the young girls laugh. I'm hip. I'm cool. They loved me in there.
Yeah.
They loved me in there. But it's like, what if like maybe they were just being like kind of polite, like in the way like that if you get dragged into like a Kathleen Madigan show, you're like, oh, it's funny. I guess. I don't know. Maybe not my generation.
So allegedly, the rumor, the theory is that Nick Cannon is having all the children because he's having them on purpose because of he has lupus. So he has lupus and he may need children to be a donor for his like a donor for him because of his lupus status. Like he's looking for matches. You know what I mean? Like,
but what if they don't want to?
that's their choice. It's you can't make
so that's
a
why
child.
You have more, so that if one doesn't choose to do it, maybe the other ones will.
Yeah.
Or you take it from one of the babies who like you're still like
stem cells, all that. Yeah. That's the theory, is why Nick Cannon is having so many children, is he's looking for things to help with his own health and lupus and
that
things
feels like some
that.
like Voldemort kind of weird sort of storyline of like, I have to live forever. So
Yeah.
I'll have the more kids. Like, bring 7 to me. I need your eyes.
Yeah.
Another completely outdated story.
Ugh. God. Okay. So I have a personal connection. I'm from Oklahoma, born and raised, the great state, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the rain.
Sure.
We have a governor, Kevin Stitt, and he is something that rhymes with a piece of shit. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Kevin Stitt rhymes with a piece.
It's
I'm
too
sorry.
late. It's too late.
No, that was a portmanteau. Anyway, so in July 2020, he tested positive for coronavirus, but he says he did not regret not wearing a mask. He had attended a Donald Trump rally in Tulsa last month, and then he tested positive for COVID. But he's like, I don't regret it.
He didn't want to, quote, go back into the bunker. This is from a time before Trump supporters stormed the Capitol.
Yes.
How much has happened? Because like now it's like I read this article and I'm like, whatever. I had COVID like a month ago. Like, who cares? But like these kinds of articles really were like a maddening kind of middle finger around this time. Because like people were dying. Like what was like it got to up to 700,000 people or something like that died. I don't know how many died specifically in 2020, but like you'd watch CNN and like the counter would go up, like just tick 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 tick. Oh God. Anyways, Oklahoma.
This is also before Donald Trump tried to kill his own vice president, and you know what I mean, and almost succeeded.
He didn't kill him, or he wasn't trying to kill him.
He wanted him dead. He wanted him dead.
Sure, but I mean, haven't we all wanted Mike Pence dead at one point?
I guess I just don't have the power to do anything about it.
Well, it turns out Donald Trump doesn't either, because Mike Pence is still alive.
Ooh. Anyway, Kevin Stitt, piece of shit, probably gonna run for president one day. Ugh.
President shit.
Oh, that's good. He'll never do it. It's a branding issue. You know what I mean? That'll never happen.
Yeah, he can't even be VP because it would be like Cruz shit.
Oh my goodness.
From NBCnews.com, we have a kind of fun story about a woman who had a dream that she was eating her engagement ring and then woke up and realized, oh fuck, I ate my engagement ring for real.
Now, listen, I question. Okay, that's the story she tells. Do you think she was just in an elaborate game of truth or dare? And she was like, dare, I choose dare. and this was the story she thought would be less embarrassing.
You think she ate her ring on a dare?
I'm just, as a highly competitive person,
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, is that the escalation? Does she just not want to lose?
She didn't have to post on Facebook about it though.
Yeah, you're right. Well, she didn't have to post on Facebook that she ate it in a dream either.
That's true. So she said that her dream, she was on a high-speed train that was racing down the tracks, and her fiance and her were together, and there was some bad guys that appeared. So the only way to protect her 2.4 carat diamond ring was to swallow it. You know, if there's bad guys on the high-speed train, like, I guess 2.4 carat diamond is pretty expensive, but I wouldn't think to swallow my ring to save it. I would be like, this is insured.
Yes. Yeah. I'd be like, well, I've got a couple holes to put it in. The mouth isn't one of them.
I mean, they have the x-ray. She dead ass did this.
Oh yeah. No, it's up in there. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, geez. I mean, yeah. When I woke up the morning, there was no ring on my finger. She told today. I couldn't help but laugh, but then I had to wake my fiance up and tell him I had swallowed my engagement ring. Can you imagine, like, looking at Taylor, looking him dead ass in the eye, waking him up from his slumber and going, I need you to take me to the hospital. I swallowed my engagement ring.
I did something bad.
And him just going, okay, of course we're going to take you to the hospital, and then we're going to talk about our wedding plans.
I mean, pending the clarity, like that's anywhere from like a $7,000 to $25,000 ring or more. It depends on the clarity. So how clear could it be now though with us? Like, what does stomach acid do to a diamond?
I mean, nothing, right? It can't, like, aren't diamonds like only diamonds can destroy diamonds? Or I don't know. I don't know shit about diamonds. I don't know.
I think that's Superman.
No. Oh no. Only Superman can destroy diamonds.
Yes.
So the doctors found the engagement ring in her intestines, and eventually she got it back. They gave it to her fiance for safekeeping, and he gave her ring back.
That's misogynistic.
Very misogynistic. Can you hold on to this for safekeeping?
We'll give you this. Obviously, your woman can't handle it without eating it.
She has to wear it on a necklace around her neck now. You know what I mean? Like a pacifier.
God.
She can suck on it, but she can't swallow.
In the vows, it's like, our ring and our love has been from hell through hell and back.
And her intestines are back. Am I right? And then he buckshots over to his friends. There's a little drummer, but ching. Oh my God. Oh, speaking of trashy.
What?
I watched a wedding where the officiant was like, do you take this woman? Da, da, da. And the groom went over and huddled with his boys, with the groomsmen. And they were like, huddle. And then they would look over and like, okay. And it was like supposed to be funny, but it wasn't like, she didn't, it wasn't like a charming, like she thought it was funny. If she would have been like, oh my, classic Kevin. But she wasn't enjoying it. And I was like, oh, you should not have posted this to the internet. Like, it was so trashy. I did not enjoy it. But
yeah, like, okay, funny. You want to check in with your boys. I want to be honest with you. Like, anyone who has a group that are called the boys, I immediately have red flags about it.
Yeah.
Not saying that your fiance shouldn't have friends.
Of course.
They have to have friends. They definitely need to have friends, but
yes,
I'm not trusting the boys to be a part of our decision making.
In fact, if your fiance does not have friends, that could be a red flag concerning issue. But yeah, the boys, they like huddled and like would look over, and I was like, nope, not cute, don't like it. No. Yeah. Speaking of wives though, wives and such, Let's get into our next post. It was from the first posting from reddit.com.
It's not
And
opening for me.
it's a archive. Maybe I'll send you a screenshot real quick. I'll send
Okay.
you a real quick screenshot. And then I'll send it to the text. All right. It's a real treat. It's a visual feast for the eyes. It's been removed.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is this. Fuck, I forgot about this.
It appears to be a posting from wish.com, just from the formatting. It looks like it's from wish.com.
It's a bed set. So like a comforter and two pillowcases. And there's each pillowcase says a different thing. One says best bitch wife ever, and the other one says best asshole husband ever. So we're definitely on track for probably a really cool, healthy marriage.
And it says, "It's you and me against the world, baby. We fucking got this." And then it's a skeleton and a woman in a bikini
with tattoos.
But then there appears to be something like resting on her back, like
a motorcycle.
A motorcycle, like it's like a motorcycle on her back.
Yeah, so it's a motorcycle, and then like a woman. It looks like what like when they put tattoos on pictures of Marilyn Monroe.
Yes,
Like it looks like that, like where they just took some lady, some like model, and put like tattoos on her, and she's straddled on top of a skeleton. So like the people who own this think to themselves, well, when I close my eyes and envision myself, I envision myself to be like a super hot tattooed lady in a bikini, and then the guy's like, I envision myself to be a fucking skeleton. Like it's a vibe.
It's a real vibe. It feels like what like some incel thinks like a marriage would be,
Yeah, or like what like two people who like kind of idolize, like maybe like they think how Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson got together like was like the best call, and like they meet at like a party and then they get like married that night or something, and like like those kinds of people that you see together and you're like, you two are not compatible, but they're both too like stubborn to like give it up. Like there's a lot of people who might, I don't know, I like to picture who it is.
If
live in Oklahoma.
If they have 100%. If they have a motorcycle, he for sure has a vest that says, or a helmet or a vest that says, "If you can read this, the bitch fell off." You know what I mean? Like, yeah. If he's solo on the bike, that's what you see. Yeah.
Like to take pride and be like, yeah, my wife, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
My husband, he's an asshole. But like they love it.
Yeah, they love it.
But you know what? We can't really talk shit because we also take a lot of pride in being like pretty trashy. So like it's almost the same thing of like if someone's like, I take pride in being a bitch, and it's actually like, oh well, you're pretty justified for being angry as often as you are, but if you want to keep calling yourself a bitch and have your husband call you a bitch, that's your business. But like that's what we do when we go, well, we're trashy. And some people be like, well, I think you're just like trying to like live a free life. It's like, nope, we're trash.
It's a brand.
So you know what? Fuck us.
Fuck us, this was our first story from Russia. Our next story, Wow.
Talk about things aging weird.
Yes. Yeah.
Because this is just like a quirky story from Russia. And I don't think we get a lot of quirky stories from Russia these days.
Nope. From Moscow, a Russian restaurant owner stripped of their income by the coronavirus lockdown are campaigning for their businesses to be allowed to reopen by posting pictures of themselves naked on social media. Now, here's the thing. Why not just continue to post pictures of yourself? Why not just go to OnlyFans? I guess if you like to cook, but cook on OnlyFans. Turn it into a private home business. Anyway, but they were demanding to authority to let them start serving clients again because of the lockdowns. Yeah, I don't know.
We are naked because we are left with nothing.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know what Russia's government's response was, if they had access to PPP loans or unemployment benefits from the federal government, or what their I don't know what old Putin was cutting checks for at the time, but it feels like it's very, very, very stark. Two very stark realities in Russia. There's like the oligarchs and like a very, very wealthy class, and then there's very working class poor. It feels like there's very little middle class at all from what I've observed and seen in a lot of Russia. So I think this probably struck them very hard. So this sucks. Yeah.
Well, way to humanize everything.
I know, but Putin ordered lockdown measures at the end of March, shutting down all businesses except for food stores and pharmacies. Yeah. Ooh.
Well, gee, I hope they're doing okay now.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. No updates.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready, and I'm wondering, should we skip the sting and do what we did for a really long time until we had the sting, which I think might have been originated in the first episode because we didn't know what else to do?
I think so. Yeah, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Well, then it's time for the dumpster fire of the week. Wow, that felt good.
It felt good. Oh, bringing it back.
More pandemic news. It's almost like there was nothing else to talk about in 2020.
So this is from salon.com. Speaking of those PPP loans, hate groups cashed in on pandemic relief before millions of Americans protested for social change.
Yeah, so the Center for Media and Democracy was able to report on these loans, which went to 6 nonprofits for a total between 2.3 million and 5.7 million. Groups did not have to repay the government if they put the money towards payroll and other operational expenses. And found out that some of these nonprofits were hate groups.
Hate groups, as listed by the Southern Poverty Law Center. So yeah, and obviously, there'd been a shit ton of uptick in hate groups and violence against Asian Americans and Black people, and just a whole bunch of horrible shit happening. And so the groups that received money was an anti-Muslim hate group, 2 anti-immigrant hate group, 3 organizations against anti-LGBT hate, or 2 organizations designated as anti-LGBT hate groups. And this is horrible.
Yeah, not sure that these kinds of things needed to survive the pandemic. Don't really want my taxpayer money to go towards people who blame gay people for the Holocaust.
No. Also, I wish we would have had our shit together sooner and we would have gotten a PPP loan.
It sounds like they were just giving them out. So
That sounds like it was one of the loosest programs in all of history. Yeah, but damn. But yeah, anyway, next time there's a government program that's just poorly administrated for I mean, those PPP loans were meant to keep people on the payroll, so you didn't have to pay it back if it went towards payroll and other operational expenses and things like that. But it's like, damn, we don't pay ourselves and we're not a business. In fact, we lose money on this podcast.
Well, we could try. We could try to start, quote, paying ourselves and get a loan. Again, we have to wait for the next time that the government is in a pandemic.
Maybe the monkeypox PPP loan will help. So
I doubt it.
Oh yeah, we seem to have just been like, well, if you can find a vaccine, you can find it. Wow.
So what are you sorry, my brain is thinking because I have a lot of problems with the way that the monkeypox vaccine is being rolled out right now, but I don't want to get
Yes.
political right now. Want to
No.
move on, but I just want to
Yes.
acknowledge to anyone listening who agrees with me, dude, not cool with this.
Not
Anyways,
cool.
whatever. We're not going to talk about it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what are you hoarding?
So I'm hoarding. I'm hoarding the movie by Jordan Peele. Nope. I just like saying it like that. I really enjoyed myself. I went to the movies. I did have a movie theater hot dog, something I probably haven't done in 20 years.
Yum.
I might have woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning with mild food poisoning, sweating, stomach ache,
sure,
cold sweats,
absolutely.
made myself vomit. Horrible, horrible decision to eat a movie theater hot dog. But the movie was wonderful, delightful, thought-provoking, scary, fun. I really liked it. So
cool.
Yeah. What are you hoarding?
German pancakes.
Yes.
Have you had them?
I don't know what's the difference. Maybe not.
I woke up this morning and my fiance was like, do you want German pancakes? I said, I don't know what that is. So yeah, let's do it. And he cracked 6 eggs and some flour and some almond milk and put it in a baking sheet. And what came out was, I don't know, my cousin said it looks like a Dutch baby, which that doesn't make any sense to me either. But like, it basically was just like a giant pancake that like took over the entire baking sheet, like it looked like almost like a pie crust, but then you take a bite into it with powdered sugar and syrup and you're like, oh, this is like a meld between French toast and pancakes. I don't know. That shit was good. And we ate the whole fucking pan, which I don't think we were supposed to do, but it was so yummy. So it was like a nice little weekend cutie breakfast.
So a Dutch baby, pancake, sometimes called a German pancake, a Bismarck, a Dutch puff, or a hootenanny.
Okay. It's like a weird hollow pancake.
I love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
good.
I'm gonna ask old Winston to make me a German pancake.
It was Taylor said it was really easy, and like it just like tasted very light, or it was like deceivingly light because we ate the whole pan. Definitely try these. What are you throwing out?
So I'm throwing out, let me just say, though, I think maybe on the first episode, do we call it the chop of the week? Or do we say, what are you throwing out?
I don't remember, because it does say on this document chop of the week, but I don't remember ever saying that.
That might have been a draft, but yeah, what I'm throwing out, yes, what I'm throwing out though is, and I love it. Let me just preface, I'm so grateful and think the winner is 100% deserving. And all the winners are the winners of the winners, but All-Star 7, RuPaul Drag Race All-Star 7, I think the format and the rigory of the finale didn't allow the winner, no spoilers, to shine in their best format.
Okay.
That's all. I think the winner absolutely killed the competition, but I don't think that the format was the format that what set them up to win. In their first lip sync, I was like, ooh, this should have been the finale lip sync. It was just very difficult. It was very hard because there could have been, in my mind, three clear winners, and it was very difficult for me. But I think the winner, that was not the format for them to shine, and it felt very like, well, this is the person we want to win.
Yep.
That's all.
I agree. I watched this last night, and the person who won was the person who I wanted to win and who I thought deserved to win. Mm-hmm. So all good there.
Yes.
But the fact that they are allegedly just judging it based off of the lip syncs, like, no, the fuck you're not. Because if that was the case, the winner would lost both lip syncs, in my opinion.
100%.
But like the winner, again, deserved to win because they won. I don't want to spoil too much, but like they won the most challenges out of everybody.
Yes.
So like, of course they would win.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a little bit, I never liked that part of Drag Race when they, like once they started switching things to like making people have to lip sync for the crown, it was like, I think the lip syncs are, lip sync for your life is good. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
great. I think the lip syncing, even in All Stars for your legacy to win a little bit of money is good. But yeah, that wasn't it. Like the lip sync, because you can also, sometimes you can only do so much in a lip sync.
There's only so many things. A dip or a quote death drop, a shimmy, a dance, a failed cartwheel, a comedy. Like there's only the stage is only limited. Like when Shay busted out choreography, I was like, it's over.
That's what I said. Yeah, I was like, oh wow. Like I said, if this was a bar, or like a drag show, I would have been so much more excited to see
Yes.
Shay's lip sync because she's doing actual like Gaga choreography.
Yes, I would have
But
thrown that money.
yeah, but Monet threw the money. But even still, and
Yeah.
like with Evie switched wigs and like still, anyways,
I know.
it really felt super, super predetermined.
Mhm.
And I had so much fun watching this season, but in general, like there was no critiques either. Like they were
No.
just kissing everyone's ass the whole time.
Yes.
So it was kind of just like, I feel like that was maybe part of the contract of like, yeah, we'll come back, but I don't want to be
Yes.
eliminated, and I don't want to lose, and I don't want to, have my art torn apart when I
Yeah.
don't need this.
Yeah.
Like, so like again, it was good,
Yes.
but I honestly feel like the fact that they started with the snatch game, it kind of almost went downhill from the first episode.
Right? Yeah.
Anyways,
I
this became a Drag Race podcast.
I know. If they do this format again, are we gonna get Bianca Bob?
Oh my god.
Would you not? I mean, the two gladiators.
Wow.
Bianca Bob Alaska.
Oh my
Bianca
god.
Bob Alaska snatch game.
Wow.
Would there be enough oxygen on this earth for that to exist?
I don't know.
Anyway, questions that keep me up at night. Oh, a quick before we get into other plugs, update. If you remember our vanilla yogurt bandit, Ben Sheehan, who is the gentleman who is the class action lawsuit hero.
I think I remember him best by what he did for Strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Yes, Strawberry Pop-Tarts. He is a gentleman that files tons of class action lawsuits. We covered him on the podcast. Sheehan and Associates. So we covered him on the podcast. He's done vanilla yogurt, Strawberry Pop-Tarts most recently, all these big stories and all this stuff. And for not being fruit enough, all these things, y'all, we covered him. What I forgot, Spencer emailed me. I was cleaning up old emails. I was going through the annals of the email archives of Erica Curry. And y'all, on May 24th, 2020, who emailed me but Spencer himself, leads at spencersheehan.com, and said,
the podcast even came out.
Before the podcast, and said, I just wanted to make sure you saw my previous email from a couple days ago regarding your purchase of Feiji True Blend vanilla yogurt. The ball is rolling quickly, and I just want to make sure that you know that you are eligible to get in on this class action lawsuit about the vanilla yogurt. And y'all, I replied. I said, I agree. Here's the vanilla yogurt I purchased. Here's where I purchased it from. Here's how many times I purchased it. Here's my name, my address, all the information. And who didn't follow up? Spencer. So is he that good of a lawyer? Because I don't know. I wasn't represented with the class. So, but I was a part. I have been contacted by the man, the myth, the legend, Spencer Sheehan. prior to the podcast even started. Just wild. Anyway, Cassandra, where can the people find you?
The man, the myth, the legend, to you.
To me,
you
a
do
personal hero.
You love Class Action Lawsuit. You can find me at Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. Hey, my Instagram is public again. Why? Because I was in a Walmart commercial. Yeah, you know where you can find me? You can find me on Hulu. If you pay for ads, I'm probably going to pop up on your screen pretty soon. Slinging Walmart Plus. And
what does Walmart Plus do?
Walmart Plus, I think, is an opportunity to have an associate put your groceries away for you, because so you don't miss the simple things in life. You don't miss things in life wasting time with groceries.
Not only will they deliver, they'll come in and they'll put the groceries in your fridge.
Yep.
Now, will they go through the fridge and say, is this Tupperware from last night or from a week ago? Is this, I don't know. Should we throw it away? I'm not going to smell it. No. I'm not going to smell it. They won't do that, because that's how we have to put groceries away. There's a discussion. Check the date? I don't know. No, I'm not going to smell the milk. I don't drink milk. Milk.
I looked online and to do research about this project, and
of course, an actress prepares.
I think that they don't advertise this, but I think that they wear body cameras.
They would have to. Would have to.
Yeah, to protect themselves.
To protect themselves, and just the I'm gonna say this. Other people's houses are filthy. You know what I mean? Just to be a fly on the wall. I'm sure it's filthy in there. Anyway, congratulations. You're a star. I've watched the commercial. Cassandra says iconic lines. She does a great job. She's putting away the groceries in the fridge. She's wonderful. Anyway.
When I showed up on set the first day, the makeup lady said, "Are you an actual Walmart employee?" And I said, "Nope, I'm an actress." She goes, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if we were using real people." And I was like, "Yep, nope, I'm an actress."
Nope. Do you think a Walmart associate could do this?
Hi, Mike. Where do the people find you?
At iconic Erica Curry on Instagram, and at Keely Gal on the Twitter. And that's about all I want to be found right now.
Fair enough. And you can find this podcast at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com to send us stories. Tell us why you're trash. We love it. trashytrashypodcast.com, where we have a cute little website. At trashytrashypodcast on Instagram and Twitter. Follow our Instagram. There's posts every fucking day, and it's great. And thanks so much for listening for the past 100 episodes. Cheers to 100 more, Erica.
Cheers to 100 more. I love doing this with you. Thank you so much for being my trash soulmate, and your voice is the best thing in my week, in my day, and I love you so much.
You're all right too.
Woo. Woo. Yay. Woo. Anyway,
I'm just kidding.
We're just collaborators.
Oh no, Erica, no, I love you, and I'm so grateful that you asked me to do this with you in the pandemic, and what a joy. Listeners, you have to understand that this podcast would not happen without Erica Curry and all the hard work she does. Everything that you enjoy and listen to this is all the hands and the hardworking hands of Erica Curry. So I'll say that you are the blue trash can to my black trash can. You are the recycling bin that people come and steal cans out of, and I'm full of coffee grounds and dog shit.
But listeners, you're the giant trash truck that comes and collects us both every week. Yep. You come, you pick us up, you load us up, and you listen, and we're so grateful that you've been with us. Tell a friend. Give us 5 stars on the iTunes chart or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave a review. Tell us why you're trash. Tell people why you like the podcast. And thank you for sticking with us. And here's to many more. So, hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will.
4 more years.
4 more years. 4 more years. Bye-bye. Bye.